My dear student friends, myself G.R. Rai, Principal Bhuvanananda Orissa School of Engineering Cuttack. So the next 25 minutes I will be with you and I am going to explain the chapter contouring of Survey 1 subject 4th semester civil. So before that let me make you remembering the already you have been learnt regarding the leveling. So leveling is a art of surveying to find the elevation or level of different points in the earth's surface. So for that you are using dumpy level. So contouring is further application of this leveling survey. So we will discuss about contouring. Basically, if we discuss regarding the concept of the contouring, so आमे जहाँ पृथ्वी पक्षर देखुचंती सबू किछि कोटा उच्चा जगह अच्छी कोटा नीचा जगह अच्छी कोटी स्लोप अच्छी कोटी अधिक स्लोप अच्छी कोटी कम स्लोप अच्छी से सबू टोपोग्राफिकल फीचर जानिया पाई आमे कंटूरिंग करंती. For why we need contouring? Because for any project, whether it is a railway project, whether it is a road project, whether it is a establishment of plants and factories, whether it is a establishment of any building also, so we required, we were interested to know the topographical feature of the area we are going to survey actually. So for that reason we are using this contouring. Contouring is simply same leveling procedure we will adopt there here, but we will take certain aspects there so that we can know the what are the points having same reduced level. So in this my lecture I am going to cover these topics. First is introduction, then definition, then uses, characteristics of contour, methods of contour, and miscellaneous terms of related with contour. So before that I have already explained you regarding the concept. So why we require contouring actually? So the general map of a country include the location of roads, railways. I already have discussed railways, rivers, villages, towns. Even if your own building, any infrastructure we are going to construct, we need to know the topography of the area we are going to survey. For any engineering project involving road, railways, knowledge of nature of ground surface is required for locating suitable alignment and estimating the volume of the work. That is the basic feature of the contouring. Therefore, the contour map is essential for all engineering projects. This is why contour maps are prepared. That was the main objective or concept of contouring. So contouring is basically, I have already discussed, it is a process of leveling. The same method we are using same dumpy level and same, we have already discussed about height of the instrument method and rise and fall method. These two methods are used generally to find out the reduced level. What do you mean by reduced level? Reduced level means level of any point on the area where we are going to survey with respect to some reference point. Then the reference point is known as, in surveying term, it is known as benchmark. It has a known level. So either it is a mean sea level with respect to mean sea level. So everywhere we are taking a benchmark. Then you find out the reduced level of each point. And the line joining the points of equal RL is known as contour. So the main objective of contouring is to determine the points on the ground having same reduced level. Suppose 100 reduced level. So if I will select 100, the points of 100 RL, then the imaginary line joining this line is known as contour line. So contour lines join the point of same elevation. So it gives the topographical features of the ground, comparing different contour lines of different elevation for a closed area. Based on the topographical feature, calculation for engineering projects can be carried out. What we are going to calculate? We are going to calculate what is the cutting, what is the filling. Suppose one RL is 100, another RL is 120. This RL is 100 and this is 120. So this is the slope. So we have to fill this area. If this RL is 90 suppose, so we have to cut it. So accordingly the cutting and filling we have an idea so that we can get the work or volume of work. So this is the main definition. So this is the example of contour map. You see, this is a mountain. You see where you will find different contour lines actually. The highest level is the higher value. This RL is higher, then gradually this is decreasing, and this contour to this contour, the difference is known as contour interval. We are going to discuss in the next chapter, that is contour interval. Suppose the plain grounds are there, so we need not take contour interval frequently. 10 meter, 20 meter like this, we will take it 90 meter. So that depends. We are very much interested to exactly focus or locate the topographical feature. So accordingly we have to take the contour interval. What is the vertical distance between these two contours? So these are the some definition. The contour line we have already covered. The line of intersection of a level surface with the ground surface is known as contour line, or simply the contour. It can also be defined as the line passing through points of equal reduced level, because we are not getting the absolute level of a point. We are getting the level of any point in the earth with some reference to some point. That is why that is known as reduced level, because we are not interested for the reduced level. We are interested what is the relative height between different points in the area where we are going to survey. So this is the example of a pond. You see, you go down and down, you will find the level reduced, but in the loop, in the contour loop, you will find the center is less, 90, then is 95, then is 100. So here you see the contour, vertical contour interval between 90 and 95 is 5 meter. That means we are drawing the contour lines at an interval of 5 meter. We can also draw the contour interval 10 meter. So that depends upon the how much slope and steep the area is. This is example of a pond. So the contour interval I have already told you. The vertical distance between any two consecutive contours is known as contour interval. For example, I have already shown you the pond. So this is the pond, suppose. So this is one contour line, this is another contour line, this is the elevation part. Then you see this is the plan, this is another contour line, then this is another contour line. So this distance, the level distance is known as contour interval. Similarly, this distance, this 5 meter or 10 meter, whatever may be, so that is known as horizontal equivalent actually. So there are two terms very important. One is contour interval. Suppose a map includes contour line of 100 meter, 98 meter, 96 meter and so on. The contour interval here is 2 meter. The interval depends upon the nature of the ground. Already I have told you whether it is a flat surface or steep, the scale of map and the purpose of the survey. Then comes to the horizontal distance between any two consecutive lines. That is the plan actually. So this is the horizontal distance. This distance is known as horizontal distance equivalent. It is not constant, it varies according to the steepness of the ground. So then comes to the uses. So this contour map already I have narrated in the first concept that it is very much used for any project we are going to start. It may be a factory, it may be a railway, whatever may be. So the nature of the ground surface of a country can be understood by studying a contour map. Hence the possible route of communication between different places can be demarcated. A suitable site or an economical alignment can be selected for any engineering project. For example, we are going to construct a road. Suppose this place number 1 and place number 2. We interested to connect. How many? The road can be aligned like this, like this. There are three routes we can select, but we have to see which is economical. We have to see where we have to take the level in different points. This is LS, longitudinal section. This is cross section. So we have to take the level and find out the contour map. Then we have to draw 3 contour maps in the 3 cases, possible cases, and we have to see which one is economical, where the expenditure is less, where the cutting filling is same, then it is economical. So that is why this can be done. The capacity of a reservoir of the area of a catchment can be approximately computed actually. So you know the catchment area where from the rainwater will be go to the reservoir. So we can also find out, because knowing the contour lines, we can know the gradients. If the slope is steep, definitely the reservoir will get more water actually. So the intervisibility of otherwise or different points can be established. A suitable route for a given gradient can be marked on the map. That is very, very important. Suppose we want to make a gradient, a common gradient in the road, so it can be demarcated. A section of the ground surface can be drawn in any direction from the contour map. Quantities of earthwork can also be approximately computed. So these are the uses of the contour. Then comes to the characteristics of contour. So whenever we do the contour maps, basically there may be a depression. The depression means pond. There may be a summit. There may be a mountain. So you will see the characteristics of the contours. In some cases, you will find inside the loop it is lower value. That means you know that is a pond. If there is a higher value, then it becomes a summit or hill. So that is the characteristics. Some of the characteristics I will just enumerate. The contour lines are closer near the top of the hill, and high ground and wide apart near for the foot. You see the mountain is like this. So generally mountain is like this. So you will find here the contours are closer, but here is steep, so here the contours are wider. So that is the characteristic. This indicates a very steep slope towards the peak and a flatter slope. This is steep slope. So the contour lines are closer near the bank of a pond or a depression and wide apart towards the center. This indicates a steep slope near the bank and a flatter slope at the center. So from the contour diagram, we can very well have an idea whether it is steeper or flat. So this is example of hill. You see here, this is closer, then this is wider. In foot it is wider, it is closer. So uniformly spaced contour lines indicate a uniform slope. Uniform slope. Suppose for example this line, you will find the contours have a uniform slope. Suppose you draw contours. So if you get this line, this type of contour, you will see this is a uniform slope. Contour lines always form a closed circuit. Whatever contour I have already shown you, you will find it starts from one end and it will also end at that point. So it is a closed circuit, maybe within or outside the limits of the map. Contour lines cannot cross one another except in case of overhanging cliff, but the overhanging portion must be shown in red. Because if you see, the basic definition of contour line is, it is the imaginary line joining the same reduced level. So when the line is at same level, how another contour line will intersect? It will never intersect. That is the basic characteristics. But in some cases, in overhanging cases, where there is hanging of hill is there, so in that case the contour line may intersect, but it has to be shown in the dotted line, because the basic principle is contour line never intersect. So this is the example of overhanging cliff. Here you find, so here this contour two lines are intersect each other. It should be dotted line actually to demarcate. So that is known as overhanging cliff. When the higher values are inside the loop, I have already discussed. When the suppose go higher, the reduced level is going higher and higher, you will find inside the loop it indicates a ridge. This was a ridge line. I will show you the ridge line. This is ridge line. And when the lower values are inside the loop, it indicates a valley. So this is the valley case. This is higher value. This is 80, 70, 60, 50, and this is 100, 90, 80 like this. So that is the indication of the characteristic of contour. When the higher values are inside the loop, it indicates ridge line, and when the lower values are inside the loop, it indicates valley line. This is the valley line and this is the ridge line. That is the characteristics of the contour in case of valley and ridge. A series of closed contours always indicate a depression or summit, and the lower values being inside the loop indicate a depression, and the higher values being inside the loop indicate a summit. So, but summit is just like your hill and depression is just like your pond. Depressions between summit are called saddles. I will show you. So there are, suppose here is like this. So this is this portion is known as saddle, and contour lines meeting at a point indicate a vertical cliff. You'll see in the figure when there is a vertical cliff, that means like this. So all the contour line will join in that particular line actually. This is the depression I have already discussed. This is the saddle, you see. So this is the depression between two contours, so it will be known as saddle. This is the vertical cliff. Here you see all the contour lines will intersect here, join here. So that is known as vertical cliff. So then comes to very important aspect. How can you draw the contour lines? How can you find out the contour lines? That is methods of contours. So I can say better method of contouring. How can I get the contour lines of a particular area we are interested to survey actually? So there are two methods basically. One is direct method, another is indirect method. So in case of direct method, you will find there may be two cases may arise. One case, because in the direct method, it is just like you students please remember, you have studied regarding plane table. So plane table survey is that survey where you can directly get the plotting in the field. You just measure and get it plotted in your drawing sheet. So that same method here also will adopt. So if the area is very small, if the area is oblong, it cannot be controlled from one point. So in that particular case, we will take 2 to 3 different points. We can take help of the plane table. You might have been knowing the plane table survey. So we have to take the plane table survey and fix up in the field. Then we will take a benchmark. So from the original benchmark, we will make a temporary benchmark in that particular area to know the RL. Once we know the RL, then we are interested to find out draw the contour lines directly in the field. This is direct method. What we can do, we can fix up the plane table there, and you see here. So we can fix up the plane table there, then got the height of the instrument. Once we know the height of the instrument, suppose the height of the instrument is 102.50 meter. So then I am interested to find out the contours of 100. Then I will take the staff reading minus 2.50. Then I get the 100 meter. So whatever point I will take here, here and here. So I will take such points where the level, the cross staff reading become 2.5. So naturally I will get the RL or same RL. So that is the method of direct method, where the area is very large. We have to shift this plane table from different points and get the reduced level by this method. Suppose I am interested to find out the reduced level of 95. So naturally I have to take the staff reading. You might have known how to take the reading. So then I will take the staff reading 2.5, 3.5 like this. So I can approximately, I can arbitrarily choose the points where the level is same, the RL is same. That is known as direct method. Then comes to indirect method. In this indirect method, we have to take the area into different parts. It may be a cross section or it may be a square. There are two methods. First of all, we will select the area. Then we will take square. Then I will take each point RL. This is a square method, indirect method. So in each point, after knowing the RL, then I have to, suppose this is 98, this is 101, this is suppose 97, and this is suppose 102. So I have to now interpolate. This is 98, suppose I want to 100. So I must be 100 like this, like this, like this. So like this. So I have to interpolate the contour. That is by interpolation method. This is your indirect method. One is by cross section and another is a square method. You see, in the cross section how you are interpolating. This is by interpolation we got the 70. Then using square also same procedure we have to adopt. Then find out the RL. Then we have to interpolate. This is it. Square method actually. You see 98 how you have interpolating between 97, this is 98, then this is 97, so 98 is like this. So we have to interpolate. So this method of interpolation, one is by arithmetical calculation, another is graphical method, arithmetic calculation and graphical method. There are two methods. This is one example of graphical method. So this is the contour gradient we are getting. So these are the assignment questions. Explain the following terms: contour interval, horizontal equivalent, contour gradient, enumerate the uses of contours, characteristics of contour, and what are the methods of contour. So basically I have referred three books: textbook of surveying and labeling by N.N. Basak, textbook of surveying and labeling by T.P. Kanetkar, Kulkarni, and a textbook surveying and labeling by R. Agar. Thank you very much for your patient listening, and for any query you may contact in my WhatsApp number 98532 74417. Thank you.
झीटीए तो माटी आम सामाजिक और पारिवारिक जीवनर मूल कथाटी से माने आगकू गले आगकू जीव संसार आम झील मैंने आ पुओंकठू पछरे नाहांती एबे तो बदली गलानी समय बदली गलानी जुग से झील माननकू आहुरी आगकू नहीं आत्मनिर्भरशील और स्वावलंबी करने ओडिशा सरकार सुदक्षा योजना रे सरकारी आईटीआई माध्यम संपूर्ण मागणारे जोगई देउछंती सबु प्रकार उत्कृष्ट मानर वैषयिक ज्ञान कौशलर तालीम। एबे आम झील रहिबे सबुठू आगरे सबुठू उपरे।
मु सफल मु कुशली मु सुदक्षा।